In 1972, a group of committed and concerned citizens, both conservationists and teachers, founded the Environmental Education Association of Illinois. We think it's important to highlight our rich history, and for that, we throw it back to 1970s. What an iconic decade! From the clothing, to the dancing, to the music and movies. More importantly, it was the birth of environmental education. There was such a springboard from the 60s with commercials and publications, especially like Silent Spring by Rachel Carlson, that paved the way for the 70s and the environmental movement. There was a lot of new policies, and even President Nixon got on board.
The cusp of 1970s, we saw some key policies at the governmental level, like the Environmental Quality Committee, National Environmental Policy Act, the very first Earth Day, and the establishment of the Environmental Protection Agency. Not wanting to be left out on a good thing, Illinois was on the forefront of this environmental movement, and an invitational environmental education conference was held at Laredo Taft in December of 1971. Key players who were instrumental in the development of this association was George Travers, Vice President of Commonwealth Edison, Noel McInnes of the Center for Curriculum Design, and Malcolm D. Swan of Laredo Taft. To see if people would be interested in such an organization, Malcolm D. Swan sent out a survey about, yep, you guessed it, forming an official statewide environmental education organization. And the results were favorable, as you can imagine. An official meeting was set up in Springfield, and it was unsure how many people would actually show. Well, nearly 100 people attended. Debate and discussion were spirited, but it was clear on one thing. An environmental education organization was definitely wanted. That night, some key players went to work on a constitution. A.B. Villanueva, Andy Clifton, Helen McLean, and Malcolm D. Swan worked all through the night and had a constitution ready the next morning to be modified, amended, and officially adopted. The group had their first governing council and board of directors and a name, the Environmental Association of Illinois.
The Environmental Education Association of Illinois has evolved over the years, but some things have remained the same. Like having a nonprofit status, or being ran by a board of directors with a constitution, or being involved with the Midwest Environmental Education Conference. We have liaisons with other organizations and agencies like the Department of Natural Resources, Audubon Society, Environmental Protection Agency, and many more. Plus, we're advocates for environmental literacy. EEAI also supports national curriculums in environmental education like Growing Up Wild and Project Learning Tree and others. Plus, we offer regional offerings throughout the state for all of our members. On behalf of EEAI, welcome to an amazing team and organization, and know that our mission is always to maintain a vital network that supports and advances quality environmental education throughout the state.